My name is Amy Bruno, and I'm delighted and happy to participate in this documentary.
My name is Hayden Hernandez. That's all I got.
I have been in 7 weddings as a bridesmaid. When I was 27, I was engaged, not to you. So there was a lot of other people's input into it. I am not religious, and my mother and my ex-fiance's mother were really into having it at the church, so that was being forced on us. I didn't really think that I was ever going to get married, and I was fine with that, but then I met Hayden and things totally changed. There's all this focus and all this input from other people, friends, family, that turns it into either a circus and or a fundraiser, in my opinion. Things are a little bit different when you want to get married in your 20s, I think, than when you get married, according to society, when you're older. I never wanted to do any of that, and the only reason that this was being planned was because of our families. My father wanted to walk his daughter down the aisle. They wanted, you have to get married in the eyes of the Catholic Church. The whole process, picking out the dress, the reception, it honestly made me physically ill. I'm like, this is just not what I want. I'd rather get on a plane, just elope somewhere. So I had 2 of my best friends get married around the same time. They also had to have it in a church and had to have it at a certain reception place because I can think of these 2 friends their parents were paying. Talking to them now, and they're both still very happily married, we would have never done it. We would have rather had the money to put a down payment on our house. The majority of times I've been a bridesmaid hasn't been too horrible. You're paying for a dress, you're paying for a wedding shower present. They're having a wedding shower, registering for stuff when they've already lived together for years. That still boggles my mind. Why are you trying to get more stuff out of people? And then you have the wedding where, no, really, I don't understand it. Oh, and the bachelorette party, we can't forget about those. Probably upwards of $1,000 per wedding. With everything, because you have to get special shoes, and back in like the late 90s, early 2000s, you had to get the dyeable shoes. That they were still doing that horrible thing. I know, really. Oh, and if you had shorter hair, because my hair used to be shorter, well, you're gonna grow it out because everyone has to have the same updo. I had one good friend of mine, I was in her wedding. I am tall, I wore heels. Apparently this was a big offense. I showed up in 3-inch heels and really got made fun of the entire day. Why would you wear heels? You're taller than everybody. What would possess you to wear heels? Ridiculed the entire day about how dare I wear heels. It only makes you look taller and slimmer. I really wanted to throw my shoes at them by the end of the day.
What makes people comfortable to say, I want your hair to look this way, I want you to spend this much money, and what makes the victims comfortable to say yes?
That is a very good question. I don't know what makes people feel comfortable about this stuff. And these are perfectly reasonable people before. It's not like they were already psycho.
They're your friends.
Yes, they're my friends. The heel one is a very good friend of mine. I've known her since I was 13. We're still good friends. If she ever sees this, I am not sure. If you find that out, I'd like to know. What makes people like us say yes and go along with all of these things? I guess because we love our friends and we want to make them happy on their very special day. I will tell you, I did refuse to grow up my hair and wore it the way I want, which the bride actually was accepting in the end. And I wonder, and this is before reality TV, Kardashians hit, now I think it's so prevalent, like on TV, these televised weddings or with these stupid shows of The Bachelorette. It's like you have to have a collection of puppets by your side for the day. I wonder too, and this thankfully has never happened with larger women. Are they, I've heard stories from other friends that they hope their friend loses weight before. It's like, well, you asked them to be in the wedding because they're your friend, and I would assume you like them the way they are. And I wish, at the time, maybe I can ask my friends now, why did you behave that way? What was going on? I will tell you another story of a friend of mine. I wasn't in her wedding, but our 2 mutual friends were in her first wedding. Well, she had a wedding shower. And again, they were adults, in their 30s, living together already. And the wedding shower, you had to buy a ticket to go with a spaghetti supper made by the bridesmaid. They had to make like, I don't know, 400 pounds of spaghetti. And not only did you have to pay to go, when you got there, you were expected to buy raffle tickets. And I asked my friends that were in her wedding, I'm like, why, what is this for? Well, they need money to help pay for their wedding. Then he had a bachelor party and tickets were sold for that. Later on, this person posted on Facebook, raised X amount of dollars for our wedding. Thanks guys, love you all. I do what I want every day. And I always have, I mean, maybe that's because I've been in a good position, with the career I chose. And I don't know, my parents didn't grow up making me feel like every day was special Amy Day. It was, every day was get up, do your chores, go to college, go to school, and support your own way. And I've never really felt, I've never felt repressed as a woman. I wonder if these people were brought up in very traditional homes where it was like, you play with your Barbies when you're little and you always play the bride role and you're gonna get married and have a wedding and have children. I wonder if that plays into it and that's what they see.
I was the best man at 2 weddings, and it's a great institution. There was a lot of expense, and the last wedding I was at was in Key West, and so it's a destination wedding where everyone had to pay for a plane ticket and do that, and so I thought that in some respect that's kind of nice because it gets people together. It makes people travel, see a new place that they didn't want to see, and or maybe they did want to see. I shouldn't have said that, but I don't want to talk about my friends in a negative way. But yeah, it was fun. I wish I hadn't had to pay to go to Key West and take vacation. But that's my own selfishness. I'm sorry to bring that up. But what was the question?
Was he stressed out about the bride planning, or was it an easy?
I have no idea. I have no idea. I really didn't get involved. So.
I was always like some bossy character, like with my dolls, like a teacher, or I don't know. Seriously, I really was. I don't think a wedding is a marriage. I wanted to make that commitment to him. I felt very strongly about that. I don't know if I can quite put into words why. I didn't want a diamond. I liked sapphires, so he got me a beautiful sapphire ring. And I don't want to get a band. I think it's stupid. I just want to wear that. And I've had lots of patience in people. Oh, you're engaged? Well, no, I'm married. Well, where's your wedding band? Well, this is it. Well, no, you have to have a band. I've had a few friends, you don't want a diamond? Why don't you want a diamond? It's supposed to be a diamond. Who says it's supposed to be a diamond? I think back in the royal days, it actually was a sapphire, if I remember correctly. And it's not just older people who say you need a band, or it's younger people too. And I'll go back to the time I was engaged before. I had a giant engagement ring. It was like an almost 2-carat diamond. I felt that the thing was a symbol of oppression. Like, I'm going to mark you with this. I hated it. I never wanted anything that big, but that's what was given to me. Oh, all women loved it. Oh my God, he must love you so much. That's another thing that I think women fall into, because at the same time I had a friend who got engaged before me and had a smaller diamond, which was beautiful. But as soon as she saw mine, she outright told her fiance she wanted to exchange it for a bigger one. Can you even imagine if a woman said that to you? Would you be like, can I swear?
Yeah.
Like, fuck you, bitch. Like, seriously. I went to Google, how do you elope, where do you go? And this place in Newport came up, the Admiral Fitzroy Inn in Newport. And they arrange everything for you. I emailed the lady, she set everything up, the JP. You show up there, everything's all set for you for a low cost of $600. You show up, you get champagne in your room, 2 champagne glasses, chocolate-covered strawberries, what else? Flowers, a beautiful room overlooking Newport and the water. The JP comes, and my parents met us there. We got married in the little living room of the place. The ceremony took, 20 minutes? Mm-hmm. Very nice ceremony. They said a lot
Great.
They did some reading by Bar Molly, which I really want to figure out what they read. Let's face it, I didn't want to have to do a lot of work. I'm like, we just want to get married. And he read, a blessing of the sea at the end. We were in Newport. There's the water. I guess that's what he does. You need to talk. I'm talking too much.
I would be happy to talk. For me, especially being older, I understand the whole thing with empty nest. Parents want to see their kids go out into the world and be safe and whatever. And being older, I think that for me it was something that was a lot more personal. It was really about the 2 of us. And when she told me about how her mom seemed a little bit sad that she wasn't involved in this process, and so I wanted to make it as nice for her as possible. So I didn't bring her family. I'm glad that she did because it was special, it was close, it was intimate, and it wasn't with a bunch of people. I'm like, oh, Uncle Bob showed up, and that kind of thing. It was just people that I really wanted to share that moment with.
I honestly thought some of my aunts would call me and be like, how could you do this? How could you not tell us? How could you just, not involve everybody? And no one did. They were all so happy. They sent us cards. Like, it was really not, it was nice. And I think, again, they were probably just like, crazy cat lady Amy got married. Yay, she's not going to die alone. If I was younger, I think it would have been completely different. I had some negative comments, and he received no negative comments. I had some people right away message me, are you pregnant? That was a big one, a big one. You must be pregnant.
How many of those did you get?
I had about 16 messages asking me that question. I had one person actually message me, well, did he need a green card?
I thought it was because I'm so awesome. So I go, he must have really needed something to be marrying Amy. So.
The pregnancy thing really bugged me, and maybe I shouldn't have let it bug me. But this is what happens when you put information on Facebook. I think people like to make stupid comments. You know what, though? Who cares? We announced it on Facebook. If you were close enough to me, you would have known what was happening. And if you get offended by it, I think that if you want to announce a pregnancy on there, or a wedding, or an engagement, I think that's totally acceptable. I was in my friend's wedding. This is probably about 4 years ago now. She wanted the traditional fun bachelorette party. So, you wear the stupid penis accessories and, the stickers, like the stupid stuff like that. I think we went to the casino. I had gone to iParty to buy a bunch of the traditional silly bachelorette stuff. Penis necklaces, this is what, penis confetti. It's really stupid, but she's young. I get a text later that day from another bridesmaid who's my friend. She's like, did you buy any penis items? Well, yeah, because that's what you guys said I should buy. Well, you're gonna have to return them all because her husband said...
She's a lesbian.
I would have preferred that. Her husband said if she has any penis-related items at the bachelorette party, he will not marry her because it's disrespecting him and his mother.
The penis queen.
The penis queen. All of my friends' husbands, all of them, either on Facebook or through my friend, that's awesome. You did what we all wanted to do but didn't have the guts to do. I'm so happy. Yeah. That was again, different reactions between male and women. So yeah, maybe there is something to that, but.
I'm a very private person, and so any kind of publicity that we'd make out of this wedding was just for her. Yeah. So.